Hey, what's going on YouTube? Just going to do a quick review of the markets here. Here's the dollar. You can see the daily chart on its downtrend and its bounce. Tomorrow's Friday, so we got some resistance here. So it's breaking in the previous lows, passing the 8, but the 13 is still significant as far as previous lows. So still a lot of work to do in here, but if it gets above 94, it's likely to reach the other end to the 34. So see what happens with that. As far as the weekly is churning out, definitely breaking in the previous lows. So it could be just a bearish retracement. If it closes above 50% of the red candle, then it might be turning bullish. So it's got quite a ways to go. It's got to get away from. It's got to close above the 13 on the daily, which is 94 and above. So we also have a meeting line here, which kind of got pushed back from the meeting line. A little resistance. Lots of work to do for the dollar. But this might be just a huge bearish retracement from its drastic drop, making this a huge head fake. So either or, look for breaks in the previous lows. Look for a close above the 13, maybe take a ride to the 94 level, but or the 94.50 level. Upwards into the previous lows up here. So far, that's how it's closing out the week. It's only Thursday. We got one more day, but since its drastic drop, it's been retracing. The Dow is still hanging in there. A little bounce off the 8 today. For the week, it is still hanging in there above support, where the 8 is this trend line. So it's got to stay above the 8, obviously stay above the previous higher lows. We've got support at 13 as well. But hoping this turns into a big whipsaw like it did on the S&P. As you can see here, it's not much of a bounce off the 8. It's closing on its lows today. And for the week, it is all red. So S&P, you got support at 2028, onwards down to 2000, which is a major support line. Crude did a nice pullback, and it is trying to get back up. As you can see, the bounce still way above the 8 on a weekly chart, so it's pretty healthy. But looking on a daily, that looks like a falling star. So I guess we can't hold our breath. We got one more day. This did close above the 8, so if it starts to break previous lows, which is 44, 50 cents from its high, or from its close, breaking previous lows, you might be careful up in here. That is definitely a falling star. Unless, as we witnessed before, this might be an inverted hammer right off of support, which we will see if it opens up or if it opens down. Something to watch, something to get familiar with. Gold, as we spoke earlier, really hasn't retraced too much on gold. This is just a bullish retracement back to support. This is all that is. So we broke out at what, 1280. went over just a tad on 1300, breaking previous highs. Just a little slip of the tongue, came back down, and then recovered. So closing above previous highs at 1280 on the week will be very important for gold, which is just $1.25 off. So not much of a retracement in gold, and it's real healthy. Silver, on the other hand, has been taken for a ride, but its breakout was 3 weeks in a row straight up. So 1, 2, 3, made a double top, retracing, but I think, what was it, 1741 we want to close above on a weekly. So we're almost there, but looking at a daily, looks like we got a reversal bar, bounce off the 13, a higher low, closing above previous high. We need to close above the 8 on Friday. Let's see, 5 hour. We might have a falling star here, which a breakdown below 34, retrace back to the 34, bearish retrace, and for now we made a higher low. So some support here. That's the 5 hour, 60 minute. You can see the higher low and the creep back up. But this might just be another bearish retracement, so be careful. We need to close Friday above all three of these lines, EMA 8, EMA 13, and the 34. And not a good thing as the 8 and the 13 have crossed the 34 on the downside. So something to be careful of. One thing on gold, I remember seeing a nice candle on the 5 hour. There's a nice candle on the 5 hour. Little hammer across the 34. I'd like to see that. It closed, it dropped below, broken the previous lows or previous highs, bounced really hard, and within 5 hours it closed above. And we just got a new candle for the next 5 hours. We'll keep a watch on this. That might be the bounce. It's got to move above the high of the previous candle to confirm this hammer. So just be aware of that. Copper, taken for a ride on this one. It's still hanging in there, but this is one hell of a retracement on copper all week. But we got support there, and we want to break previous highs. So as we speak, we're in a pattern. Okay, closing above the 34 and the 8 would be kind of nice on copper by Friday. GDX, still a retracement. We've got a bounce. Let's look at 5 hour. GDX on the 5 hour, bounce right off the 34, and hopefully by Friday we can maybe fill that gap. That would be nice. It's already been filled, but gaps are support and resistance lines. So if we can break resistance here and run up to the next resistance, which is 24.75 about. See if we can do that by Friday. Looks healthy. Nothing has broken down. Just a huge retracement, right? from 26 to 24 and some change, I guess. 23.50. Let's look at a 60 minutes, see if we can get a churn out of this thing. Nice gap in consolidation. Look for previous high breaks. There's your resistance right there, that double top. 24.40 and above, I'll write it to the 34, which is 24.75. Looks likely. That's a nice, which looks to me like accumulation, pop, and a consolidation. Moving sideways. We got nice little pattern forming. So it's going to stay inside the pattern until it wants to decide up or down. So just to be cautious, I would, well, the gap started here. So previous high, take a flat top break, ride it to the 34, sell into resistance, and probably oscillate between the 34 and support until it wants to break up. So remember the 50% rule on these long candles. Make sure we close on Friday above the 50% one. It's really close, and honestly it is closing above the previous high here so far. So looks like a nice bounce on GDX. Gotta hold these bounces. Make sure they're not dead cat bounces. This one as well, JDXJ minis or juniors. Again, stay above 50% of the candle on Friday's close, and stay above the previous high, which is, you know, remarkably, it always turns out that the 50% rule is always the previous high, approximately. So that's it, guys. Still waiting for a bounce in silver. Nothing is confirmed for me. On a 5-hour, we're below. On a daily, we're bouncing off 13, so it's still healthy in a bullish sense. But weekly closes are the important part here. We're just $2 or what? Wow, 3 cents above the 50% rule. So I mean, we're right there. Nice retracement. Too bad it's been taking all week to do it. But I think that we're going to be surprised when this thing turns around. So thanks for watching. Please share, comment, and let me know what's going on out there. And have a good one.